Welcome back everyone to another regular Joe video. Thank you again for joining. In today's video, I want to talk about the three must-play common cards, and these are cards you can keep in your lineup long-term, definitely play them short-term. In my opinion, these are probably the three best common cards, so I'm going to go through each one, explain my reasoning, and I'm going to do two honorable mentions at the end. All right, so with that said, let's get right on into it. Let's start with number three. These three cards are in my lineup, and as you could see, with the start of the season, I'm at about 5,300 trophies. So again, not the best player in the world, but I am decent at this point, and I do think these three cards are long-term keepers. All right, so number three is going to be Brock. So as you can see on the right-hand side with Brock's stats, he's a really good hitter, has decent power, speed and throwing, not so good, and his fielding is amazing, especially when you have a runner in scoring position. For the fielding, that means that he doesn't make errors for the most part. In addition, he is quick to react to the ball, so he's great to play at second. You could play him at first, but either position is good. And for me, he's a long-term keeper. I may sub him out once I get Kevin, Andre, or another great hitter to 13. But the fielding is a huge advantage. It's super clutch. And I definitely recommend for all beginners to put him in your lineup. All right, number two, no surprise if you've been watching my videos, Hanzo, right? And Hanzo, you could see I have him at level 14. He was my first level 14. Don't regret that decision. They increased his contact, so you can bat him lead off. His speed is decent, not great. His fielding obviously is amazing. He saves so many runs with his ability on defense. To me, he's a must play. I think I would only sub him out for like Gina, Leo, if you're playing him at third. But he and Brock together keep your defense solid early on and long term. So I definitely recommend playing Hanzo once you start out, see how you do long term. But definitely a major defensive asset to your team. All right, so here we are at number one, and no surprise here, number one is Neville, right? So in addition to having decent contact, okay power, and amazing speed, he has the head first diving ability. And this ability is like, it's like Ruth's ability before they nerfed Ruth. It's crazy because like he will slide at home plate underneath the catcher. So he like beats the tag, and from where he slides, he's like halfway down the baseline. So he's amazing, and honestly, even though his throwing and fielding sucks, his speed kind of makes up for it on defense. You can play him at left field, which is what I do. And in terms of hitting, like, you're hitting 450 with him. So he's not the world's most amazing hitter, but if they took away his contact and power and left him with the amazing speed and head first ability, I'd probably still play him. And to me, he's the best common card. I'd have to think about it more, but he might be the best among common and rare cards as well. So again, Brock, Hanzo, Neville, all still in my lineup. Now let's do two honorable mentions who don't make the cut for me. So you may be wondering why Michael isn't on my list. If you're a beginner in this game, you have to put Michael in your lineup. He's the best common card hitter, and his ability activates, I would say, like 80% of the time because most pitchers are right-handed. So his contact is 196 plus 18, that's 214. His power is also amazing, so he's going to be the only 200 contact, 200 power hitter in your lineup when you're facing righties, as if you're only playing with common cards. Why I don't play Michael anymore, it comes down to his throwing and his fielding on defense. Now, I just mentioned with Neville, right, you can play Neville in left field because his fielding and throwing are really bad. So you can kind of hide him out there. The problem to me is that if you play Michael, let's say in center, right, you have to put him there, or you can put him in right field. Now, what I do for my lineup is I play Russell in center, Joe in right. You could also put Phoenix in center and Russell in right. But to me, with center and right field, you kind of need speedy defense or a decent defender. And I like playing Russell in center because he's really quick. His throwing is slightly less than Michael's, right? Let's do a quick comparison, right? So Russell's throwing is 168, Michael's 171. Russell's fielding is a lot better, 178, 159. And again, like fielding is really misunderstood in this game. Fielding doesn't mean like just mean making errors. It means being able to quickly react to the ball. And you don't control defense in the game, so you're dependent purely on the player's ability to react. And Russell's really fast, much faster than Michael, so he's going to get to the ball a lot quicker. Now, of course, I could see you subbing in Michael for Joe, and I've been on and off on it. The reason that I like having Joe or even Phoenix in right field, and again, let's do a quick comparison. Phoenix's throwing is amazing at 206, and of course she's really fast at 203. In addition to which, right, she gets the plus 24 if she wants to steal a base, and she's left-handed. Now, if you compare her stats at hitting 430 to Michael, right? Michael's slugging is obviously higher at almost 700, but his average isn't that much higher at 480. And also keep in mind Michael's stats at 480 and slugging at 690 compared to Brock, right? Brock's hitting a little better at 490, and his slugging is exactly the same as Michael's despite the lack of power, right? Which is pretty surprising. So again, like I like playing an outfield that has good defense. Neville, you can hide out and left, but to me, center and right, you have to have somebody who's at least decent there. And I feel like I don't need that extra offense with Brock, Ibrahimovic, and a couple other cards in my lineup. All right, so my other honorable mention is Ricky. So Ricky, you bat him in the top 3-year order. He's what you call like in basketball like a walking bucket. I guess he's like a Luis Arias player. His contact is amazing. Already at 206, bumps up to 224, and his speed bumps up to 208. So he's really easy to get on base. His power is not bad, and his throwing is also not bad as well. So he's great to have at catcher. The problem to me with catcher is that even if you're playing a card like 2 levels down like Matthew, it's a huge asset to play someone like Matthew, Nia, or Jessica. Let's just look at the catchers here. It's a huge asset to play one of those catchers because they, like in Jessica's case, decreases contact, and even in Carlos's case, Carlos has amazing power and exceptional speed and accuracy in throwing, right? So these cards have an ability that either make your pitcher better or you throw out base runners in Carlos's case. And to me, that makes it worth it if you're playing them, I would say 1 level down, right? So if I had Matthew at level 11, I would still play Ricky. But given that I have Matthew at level 12, to me, like it's not worth playing Ricky because honestly, for the most part, he's going to hit singles, sometimes doubles, and rarely a home run. So Michael and Ricky are my honorable mentions. I think if you're starting out in the game, they have to be in your lineup and see what works for you, right? Maybe you find that like you can balance having Michael in your outfield and it doesn't cause you too many issues on defense. Like I said, I do think they should be in your lineup if you're starting out, but I do think with Brock, Hanzo, and Neville, to me, like those are 3 cards you have to have in your lineup at all times. And even as you're moving along, you should still keep them in. So let me know what your thoughts are. I'm happy to hear out what you guys have to say, and thank you for watching.